Hello and welcome to the Team Meta College Conference Spring Showdown. Orange corner as red. Oh my goodness, watching it as it
being like a void space for community building.
Now you can see these freshmen and sophomores that have not had that interaction at all. They're completely online because of COVID.
He said, "Go! Oh my gosh, Osaka!"
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Chase Kurtz. We have Nick Harris. He is an esports player for Kansas Wesleyan University, and he's a freshman majoring in business management. Tell us how you're doing. How was the transitioning from high school to college treating you?
It was definitely a transition. Dealing with masks was definitely a new thing. And then having to have different classrooms, and we normally don't do assigned seating, but then we had to do some assigned seating. So having that was kind of a big, interesting thing to get used to as well.
The assigned seating was, what, 6 feet away?
Or every other chair, or two chairs in between, depending on the professor. So yeah, it was very weird. And then the masks thing was kind of hard to get used to because you don't see people's faces.
So they weren't doing any online classes?
Some classes were online, but actually most were in person.
How have you been able to handle it this past year?
It's actually pretty good. Thankfully they're in-person classes, so I've been enjoying that a lot more. It's been really nice. The school has been very adaptive and been giving us a very good place to learn with the unfortunate circumstances that has been going on around the world.
How is the playing going? Are you doing that online, or are you also doing that in person?
We do have an arena, so the players will go there during our games, and we will play. We will be distance apart, and we'll have our masks on, and then we'll do our game, and then we'll be on our way out.
Yeah, I guess you're really looking forward to everything returning back to normal.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that.
Now, were you playing esports previously in high school and you got picked up, or did you enter esports in college?
I was actually playing esports in high school, and I got recruited my sophomore year from Kansas Wesleyan, actually. And I have been following them and being with them ever since my sophomore year.
Do you think that people in high school have a stigma against esports, and then that's why they don't take it seriously, or do they just not think that it's worth the trouble to advance in college?
A little bit of both. It's growing rapidly, and there are esports leagues for high schools now, and I believe there is a high school that's made it a varsity program. Obviously some colleges have made it a varsity program, so I think the more colleges that do it, the more high schools will follow, and it will start being looked at more as a sport and not just as a for fun type of thing.
What's one of the things in college esports that you think could be improved upon in the future?
Having actual conferences would probably be kind of like what NCAA does. Having that kind of format would be a nice thing to do.
What do you think high schools could do to improve their connection to esports?
Realizing how popular it has become, and then kind of jumping on the opportunity to start creating a team. Maybe not a varsity level team just yet, but definitely having a team available for those students so they can be able to get recruited by these colleges and they can play at a collegiate level.
What's been one of the most challenging aspects of going through the pandemic? What's one of those hardships?
One of those hardships is definitely not being able to go home for a break, because we have not had a fall break or a spring break just because they do not want us traveling. So we are doing currently 17 weeks straight of peer classes. So not having a break is definitely an annoyance.
Yeah, I've heard from a lot of people that the coronavirus has really made the education system harder for students.
Yeah.
Give me more detail on that. In what way are they making it harder?
Just doing school for several weeks at a time without a break, starting to get, burnt out, and it's only halfway through the semester. Smaller, it's honestly, that's kind of just the biggest hindrance that I have, is starting to get burnt out when, there's a school, I think hour and a half away, Ottawa, and they've had a spring break, so they're able to, take a break, relax and start off fresh that next quarter. While we've been just going at it for 17 weeks, or currently 9 weeks straight without a break. So I'm starting to get a little tired and a little burnt out of school.
Tell us how you got involved in esports in general. What was your inspiration? When was it? What age?
Sophomore year of high school, actually. So I've been doing sports all my life up until freshman year, and then injuries kind of set me out of them. And I saw somewhere that you could get scholarships for esports, so I looked into it. Kansas Wesleyan had a program, and you could get scholarships for them. So I hit up the coach at that time, and then I made a Be Recruited profile and just put up a few clips of goals and, put GPA, SAT, and all that up there. And that's how I got into esports. Was I got pushed out of physical sports just because of injuries, so I got into esports because of it.
What kind of injuries did you endure?
Freshman year, I had my third concussion that fall of freshman year because of football, and then that spring semester, I threw my shoulder out playing baseball.
Oh man, did you extend it too much, or are you a pitcher?
I was an outfielder, and the coaching staff just made us throw as far as we could for as long as we could, and that obviously is not good for your arm.
I'm sorry that happened to you. How long were you out on that one?
That ended my baseball career. I lost all strength in my arm after that one, and my arm started turning purple if I let it hang down for too long, just because of lack of blood to it. So, but now I'm in esports, and there's no worry of getting hurt there.
Do you still have a weakness in that arm?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think so. It does still turn like a light purple every now and then if I let it hang down for too long. So I always have to move it or move my shoulder around to kind of fix it. But I don't. Other than strength-wise, I think it's fine now. Well,
that's great that you found something that you could really dive into that wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, I'm happy I found it. I was annoyed when I couldn't play. I'm a very competitive person, so not being able to compete in anything was really annoying.
Were you playing video games before athletics, or?
I would play before. I would play Madden, obviously Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Black Ops.
What's your favorite game?
Currently Rocket League, but I do play a little bit of Formula One in there as well, just to have a game to play that's not Rocket League. So my mind's completely on it.
As a new addition to the esports family, where do you see it going in the next 2 to 3, maybe even 5 years from now?
I definitely think it's going to get bigger. Currently I think it's going well right now for all of the esports at the moment. League of Legends keeps growing. Dota 2 is massive. Rocket League, I feel, is still increasing, and it's been around for 5 years. So I think it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. as the years come by.
Well, Nick, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate your perspective, and take care of that arm, buddy.
Thank you. I will.
Welcome back to Age of Coronavirus, College Edition. And joining us today is Michael Hansen. He is the head coach for Nichols College Rocket League team. And he was also a former captain of that Rocket League team in its first year. And also joining us, Connor Miller. He is a Rocket League team member. He's a defender. And tell us more, Connor, about what you do on the team.
So I'm pretty much usually third man back. I usually let my two other teammates, Riley and Joe, kind of go up and kind of almost run the offense while keeping more of a defensive presence on the game. So I'm usually just there so that way that there isn't necessarily a breakaway that could happen, and just making sure that that net is never vulnerable at any point.
Michael, how good is this guy?
I gotta go with he's pretty good, Connor, in all honesty, Connor is a great player. Everyone on the team is very good. They've been communicating very well. And the team overall has achieved a lot more success than, previous years. Right now, I believe we're sitting at, I think we're 6-6 in total with our two conferences, but that's a arm and a leg better than last year when we had a combined only 3 wins in the first year of our program. So we've really been able to hammer in more points without, just wanting what we want to do. And we've achieved more success, and we've been just riding high recently. And tonight we actually are playing against Montclair, and hopefully we can improve to above 500 right now.
Are you still set up playing in that kind of pandemic environment where you're doing everything online, or have you kind of advanced back into a more physical space?
It's a hybrid right now. So we have some people playing remotely, and we have some people playing in the actual room itself. So in our esports room, we have Joe, one of our other players. He has been in there every week. So at Nichols College, you get tested twice a week. And to be able to enter the room, you have to have a negative COVID test. And, if we've just been keeping that system going. I believe Connor has switched off being in the room and being remote as well. Riley has been fully remote, being able to play from home. So far, it's been kind of unique, especially with Rocket League, since you only have 3 people. You get a lot more leverage with it. So when you have these 3 people, there's a lot more space that if everyone wants to be in the room, we can have everyone in the room. But it's by choice that a lot of people that Riley and Connor have been playing remotely. And, it's just, I don't force them into anything with everything going on. It's whatever they're most comfortable with right now.
Right. So Connor, you're very comfortable being remote.
So in the first semester, I actually was fully in the room, actively playing, and I'm pretty sure Riley was there at some points with me and Joe. But then this semester, my schedule was kind of hectic and stuff. It just made it a lot easier for everyone if I was just staying in my room due to the virus. We've had some issues with that and stuff, but I mean it's been primarily very steadily flowing. But yeah, no, staying in the room and just being remote, anyways. It helps a little bit more with communication because it really does. We have to be able to communicate a lot better doing that instead of being right next to each other, especially with technical issues that could happen, because there have been some throughout matches, but especially with me. But yeah, there have been some communication issues where the mic might not be picking up what I say and stuff like that. So we've been kind of tweaking that, but being able to clearly get better at communicating, then when we do make that transition to all be in the room again last year, that will be very huge that we learn that.
Now, Connor, is that all the issues? I think you're not telling me the whole story now.
So I mean, my room specifically, we've had I live with 6 people, so I'm the 6th person. 3 of my roommates actually have had COVID throughout this semester, and we've been all self-quarantining and stuff like that. So I haven't been able to get into the room and stuff. And then I'm also a lacrosse athlete as well. So that scheduling issue can come in to where like I'd literally just get out of a practice and I got 20 minutes before an esports match. So then I have to come back, take a quick shower, basically get ready, and then play. So going, instead of having to take that shower and take an extra trip to get to the esports room, I can just stay here, and it just makes everything a lot more smoother. That's pretty much the little nitty gritty stuff that I was leaving out.
Michael, you actually were a athletic sportsman as well. I mean, you were playing. What were you playing before your injuries?
Back in high school, I had done a lot of football. This was we're going way back, like 6-7 years now. I feel so old talking about this. But in high school, I played a few sports. I did track and field, baseball, and football were my primary ones. But when I was in football, I had got way too many head injuries, being 9 concussions, which not a pretty number. And, it has its side effects. There's some times where, I just bite my tongue when I'm talking. Not actually, but I just ramble over words. I've been, working through that. But when I was in high school, I also competed on the esports side of things as well. And when I had my injuries, I kind of got pushed over more to that. And I competed on the NHL, the game NHL, I believe. I always forget which year I started at. It was either 14 or 15. It was my sophomore and junior year of high school that I was playing it. And I had, it was a hectic schedule before I completely stopped playing sports due to injury reasons. It would be from like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. I was at school. Then 3 p.m. to about 6 p.m. I would be doing whatever sport I was doing for that day. And then about 6:30 p.m. to almost midnight to 1 a.m. I would be, practicing NHL and, just practicing with the teams, practicing solo play, whatever tournaments that were coming up that I needed to prepare for was that. And honestly, after I got injured from football, unfortunately, all my injuries were from football. And I know it's not the best case to help it because there's been a lot of backlash with injuries in sports and everything, especially football. I've just been very grateful. I haven't had any lasting side effects. And I pulled myself out of the sport. I could have kept going if I wanted to. I had actually one more case of injuries that I could have gone through, but I just said enough was enough and I needed to focus on the future. When I transitioned over to fully esports, it was a lot. The game itself and the environment was very brutal. And so when I came into a coaching position, I took from that experience and I wanted to kind of just steer away from the toxicity side that I had been brought and raised into at a young age. And so what I've been focusing here at the school is more of creating a good environment and a healthy environment that everyone can feel comfortable in. And that's one of the main points that we really need to take away from these environments is that we need to decentralize the toxicity in them and create good environments that people can feel welcomed in any game. There's a few games that come to mind if you think of toxicity. And, that starts at a young age. And so when people are coming up now, the sooner that we can get them into good environments and show that these environments can be good, the better that these games can become and less toxicity within them.
It's not win or lose, but how you play the game is the motto.
Yeah. And I'd 100% agree with that. Like most, we're always like joking around before the matches just to get that light thing, to kind of get the stress off the shoulders and just loosen up a little bit. Like at the end of the day, it is just a game, and like we just have the privilege that we're playing it at a collegiate level versus just playing it at home. So just having that privilege, like the being like one of the first members of the team, it's like it's humbling and it's like an honor. Like wow, we've actually establish this as a program now. Now let's see how far we can take it.
And how far will you take it? Let's say the next few years.
Oh well, with
gotcha.
I have hopes. So I mean, this will be my last year because I am a senior, and it's also Joe's last year. But I do know that Mike has been very active when it came to recruiting. I've met a lot of the recruits that he has had come in and stuff. Like I remember a couple weeks ago, we had like a large basically like game style, and we were all just like going on to random teams, and it was a really fun time. Like everyone was joking around, and that's like the type of people that you want to bring into the environment that we already have. Like everyone has that passion for the game and stuff like that, and so if you can take that passion and then just fill it with other people that can all bring it up, like eventually, you know, you're going to get to that point where you're going to be really successful. And I think that's a good starting point with Riley now going to be a sophomore. You know, like the program should be really good for the next couple of years.
Well, what about you? Are you thinking about going pro?
Oh man, I wouldn't classify myself as talented as some of those guys. I know that there are a lot of talented Collegiate Rocket League players. I wouldn't consider myself at that high of a level. And not only that, I really have like other passions that I do want to proceed with after school that are hopefully going to lead me to a successful life.
But you've taken a lot from Rocket League.
Yes, video games have been like a huge part of my life ever since I was like a little kid. Like the first video game that I like actively played and like really loved was Star Wars Battlefront 2 on like the PS2, and I ended up being like addicted to Star Wars. Like I'm a huge Star Wars fan and stuff. But video games I think is a very, very good thing, and I think there's a lot of negativity towards it sometimes, and I think it's a very positive thing for a lot of people. It's almost like that, like you're escaping the reality and stresses of everyday life, and you get to go on to this online thing and have this new persona and stuff and meet people halfway across the world. Like I have friends that I wouldn't even know like at all, because I have a couple people that I know from the UK that I do play with regularly, and just being able to like, you know, have that interaction, I get to meet someone on a different part of the world, and you know, it opens your mind and stuff. So video games I think is a great thing, and I'm very happy that I really got into it.
That makes me want to go to Michael on this one. So Michael, are you looking for a lot of college students internationally?
So, you know, I look far and wide. It doesn't just stop at, you know, international. There's people who, you know, who are really good at these games everywhere. And, you know, what I want to provide is an opportunity not only to play at the collegiate level, but able to expand yourself in the business world as well. So Nichols College is a primarily focused business school, but they also have other majors. So what I've been trying to do is I've been really trying to find people, and that's if it's in Massachusetts, if it's in California, Mexico, England. I've talked to a whole array of different people, but what I want to do is I want to give people the opportunity to really talk and really expand themselves into the business world, and people who really are geared, just mentally thinking. Sorry, my dog is walking over right now. But
doesn't he realize we're doing an interview?
Oh, he doesn't care. He just wants attention. But just really people who really want to expand in the business world and really get themselves ahead. College is not an opportunity that everyone can get. And with more colleges giving out esports scholarships, this is an opportunity for people who really never, there's some people who never even thought about going to college that now are, because they're being offered esports college scholarships and able to play on a collegiate team. So with this new opportunity that's being presented, we're seeing even more people go to college now, especially during this age of the pandemic. While no one could go outside and everyone started turning towards video games, and there was a lot of esports scouts who really profited during this time. They were able to find a lot more people than they normally would, because more people are turning towards streaming, or they're turning towards content creation, because they can't really do anything else right now. They can't go out. So they started doing different passions that they had. And that got them the exposure that they needed to get to that next level. And so I really think after this pandemic ends, we're really going to see esports take to another level, especially if it becomes in person again.
We really appreciate you two sitting down with us and giving us just a little bit of a taste of your chemistry as a team. Michael, Connor, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having us. This has been a fun time.